welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. Now, Easter, la Semana Santa, is a massive topic for us, and because of that, this has to be a longer video. So it's been divided into two parts. There's a listening, so if you have not already listened to that, go back. I'm going to leave the link below and you can have a listen and then come back and see the vocab. So that way you'll understand a little bit more about what's been said and get a better understanding of the words you hear. Okay? Right. So as usual, I've broken down this vocab session into three parts. I have expressions, we have nouns, and we have verbs. I didn't do the adjective section because it's just too long and the video would just end up being way too much for you. And since you can find adjectives in other videos that I've done, adjectives are pretty much the same. So I'm not going to put that in for today's video. It has been a chore because it's been so hard to sort of cut this down into just 10 nouns and 10 verbs because it's so hefty. There's just so much when it comes to vocab on this topic. But I've done my best and I hope you'll find it useful. Okay, without further ado, let us begin. Okay, I'm going to start with the expressions that you hear quite a lot related to the topic of Semana Santa. Some of these are quite old, obviously, because the tradition of Easter is very old, so of course they're probably not as modern as other expressions you would have seen, but definitely still used in today's Spanish. Okay? Right. The first expression I have for you is llorar como una Magdalena. Okay? To cry like Magdalena. So first Mary Magdalene. Do we say Magdalene or Magdalena? I don't even know how we say it. So Mary, but the Mary Magdalena? Correct me on that. Madeleine. I think we say Madeleine. I'm not sure what we say. So that person in the Bible who, you know, went after Jesus and she washed his feet and she cried at his feet because she was a woman of that particular sort of living, and so she didn't feel as though she was worthy. She was worthy of even being in his presence, and so she followed him around crying. So llorar como una Magdalena. She was crying for her sins, you know. So yeah. Llorar como una Magdalena. So when someone cries a lot, you know, you cannot console them because they're in pieces. Llorar como una Magdalena. So that's where the saying comes from, and you hear it a lot. When you cry in such a manner that, you know, what do you do? To cry uncontrollably, okay? Inconsolablemente, okay? Llorar como una Magdalena, okay? Right. The next expression that you will hear is estar pasando un calvario. Okay, so it is what it says. Calvary. You know, you're having a hard time. You know, it's the thought of carrying that heavy pressure on your Calvary, something that weighs you down. It's heavy. It's not an easy road at all. Okay, so hard times. See, if you say estoy pasando un calvario, you're going through really bad moment, a really bad moment. You're having difficulties. It's not easy at all. Okay, so that's what that refers to. This expression I love for you. De Pascuas a... Okay, so the Pascuas a Ramos is a time expression, and it just means rarely. So once in a blue moon. Okay? Le veo de Pascuas a Ramos. I see him once in a blue moon. That's a lovely expression, and that's where it comes from. It has to do with Easter as well. Okay. Ser una cruz, to be a cross. Oh, it's a cross. This is a cross in my life. Again, it's a burden. And it refers again to the Lord having to carry that cross on his back. It was not an easy road to travel with that heavy cross on his back. Ser una cruz. So if someone says to me, es una cruz, okay? It means that it's a burden on them, okay? It's definitely not a positive thing. And of course, Felices Pascuas, an exclamation for you. Felices Pascuas, it just means Happy Easter. So I had to stick that one in. It was really hard to narrow these down to only 5 expressions because there are so many that are related to Easter. Lucky for you. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go over to our verbs. I don't think you can see all of our verbs, but I'm going to start with the ones that you can see. The first verb I have for you is rezar. Rezar, which is to pray. And also you might have seen pray written in a different manner. Orar. Orar. Which is O-R-A-R. It means the same. Una oración, a prayer, it comes from this. Orar. Orar. I always make this R very strong. Orar. Orar. Okay? To pray is the same as rezar. Okay. Ayunar. Very typical one because obviously the whole point of Easter is that period where you do fast to sort of experience that suffering or to think, to reflect upon the suffering of Christ. So you do fast where you don't eat anything at all, or you eat at a certain period during this festive time, this celebration, this period. Ayunar, to fast. And number 3, desfilar. La gente desfilar por toda la ciudad. To parade, so to parade, okay? Desfilar. Bendecir, obviously it's a very religious word as well, to bless, so we could not miss that one off. Okay? Bendecir, to bless. A nice word for you also, traicionar. We often see or read the scripture about Jesus being betrayed. Judas traicionó a Jesús. Judas betrayed Jesus. Okay? Right. Traicionar. Betray. Crucificar. We know that one because it looks like the English version. To crucify. To be crucified on the cross. Crucify. Celebrar is one that we've seen in a lot of other topics. To celebrate. And number 8, cazar, is a nice one for us. To hunt. And I put that one on because I was thinking of the Easter egg hunt. The hunt for Easter eggs. And the next one, nacer, to be born. Okay? Obviously. We talk about the death of Jesus Christ. We have to talk about the birth as well. Nacer, to be born. Okay? Nació. He was born. And of course, Easter is all about the depiction of the suffering of the Lord. And so sufrir I thought was a very relative verb to put on. Sufrir, to suffer. Okay. Now, so moving on to our nouns. Now, we all know our days of the week. The days of the week is something that we should have down by this. And if you don't, I'd be very surprised. Okay, right. So, Domingo de Resurrección is Easter Sunday. So it's the last Sunday of this period where Jesus then rises from the grave after the 3rd day. So it is called Domingo de Resurrección, which is Easter Sunday for us. Okay? Domingo de Ramos. Sunday of the branches, or Sunday, Domingo de Palmera. It's both. They both mean the same thing, Palm Sunday. Okay, and if you watch the video, Paco gives a really nice explanation about what happens. So I think just go back and have a look at that. And there are also lots of videos that you can see what goes on. Quite interesting. Viernes Santo, Good Friday, which we talk about quite a lot as well. I mean, you will know about this if you're Christian, because even though I'm not Catholic, in my church we celebrate Easter the same way, and we might not do exactly the same things they do here, but the vocab is very similar. Okay, right. Jueves Santo, Holy Thursday. Miércoles de ceniza, that's a nice word for you, ceniza, ash. Yeah, and so that gives it away. Ash Wednesday. Can never say that. La Cuaresma. La Cuaresma is Lent. So it's the period that they celebrate those 40, some of us, according to the Bible, we say 46 days. Okay, that period of celebrating the suffering of Jesus Christ. And for us to actually think about what it was like for him. Okay, La Cuaresma, Lent for us, Lent. A nice word for you to know, because it's just relevant all over. It's a very relevant word. Sacerdote. Okay, si vas a la iglesia, ya sabes. Okay, sacerdote is your priest. Okay. And la última cena, the last supper. There's so many things you can do with these words. Okay, I'm going over it just so that La Cuaresma is Lent. So it's the period that they celebrate those 40, some of us, according to the Bible, we say 46 days. Okay, that period of celebrating the suffering of Jesus Christ. And for us to actually think about what it was like for him. Okay, La Cuaresma, Lent for us, Lent. A nice word for you to know, because it's just relevant all over. It's a very relevant word. Sacerdote. Okay, si vas a la iglesia, ya sabes. Okay, sacerdote is your priest. Okay. And la última cena, the last supper. There's so many things you can do with these words. Okay, I'm going over it just so that you can then listen to Paco speak and then have a better understanding. Okay, and capucha, which you're going to see all over if you watch any video of Easter in Spain. Capucha, you know, the big massive hoodie things, hoods that they wear on their heads, or covering their whole faces. It's a good word to have, capucha. Okay, so these are the words that will come up. I hope that you know most of these at least, or you'd seen them. So this would just be a revision session for you, nice and easy. And the verbs, I am sure you would know half of these already. So again, it is just to refresh. Now I'm going to suggest you pop over, the link is down below, of the Listening with Paco, and just brush up. And I hope you find this helpful, and just let me know what you're doing next. So this is it, your vocab lesson on Semana Santa. Take care. Adios.